This World Cup will break the internet. Here's why. World Cup 2026 isn't just a tournament, it's a reckoning. And today we're breaking down the 5 rivalries that are about to rewrite football history, starting with one that might actually end an era. 48 teams, 104 matches, 3 countries, and somewhere in North America, the greatest story in football is about to write its final chapter. But here's what nobody's really talking about. This tournament isn't about teams. Not really. It's about individuals. It's about pride, legacy, ego, and rivalries so fierce, so personal, that they'll make you forget the scoreline entirely. We've got the old guard refusing to die. We've got the next generation sharpening their knives. And we've got the moment, the single moment, where everything changes. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly who to watch, who to root against, and which rivalry is going to produce the goal of the tournament. I guarantee it. Let's count them down. Number 5, and don't let the ranking fool you. This one is special. Lamine Yamal, 18 years old, Barcelona, Spain. This kid didn't just have a good season, he had one of the greatest individual seasons we've seen from a teenager in the history of the sport. And now, he arrives at the World Cup as the crown jewel of the reigning European champions, with a target on his back the size of Texas. Every left back in this tournament has been studying tape on him for months. Every coach has a plan for him, and you know what that means? Every time he makes them look stupid, and he will, it'll be twice as satisfying to watch. The question isn't whether Yamal shows up. The question is, does he have a World Cup moment? That one goal, that one dribble, that one night that puts him on the Mount Rushmore of players his age. Spain are genuine contenders, and if Yamal fires, this tournament might belong to him before anyone else even gets started. Drop in the comments. Do you think Yamal is the best teenager at a World Cup since a certain Argentine in 2006? Imagine carrying the hope of an entire nation for your entire career and still not having the moment you deserve. That's Harry Kane. Harry Kane, England's all-time top scorer, Bundesliga Golden Boot winner, a man who has done everything, except lift a major trophy. And let me be brutal about this because Kane deserves that honesty. This is probably his last World Cup at the peak of his powers. He's 32. England have the squad. The window is now. His rivalry isn't with one player, it's with destiny itself. Because if England go deep, and they absolutely can with this group, Kane will be in every single big moment. And the pressure on him? Unfathomable. England fans know this feeling. They've lived it for 60 years. But there's something different about this squad, this tournament, this version of Kane who went to Bayern and proved he belongs at the absolute top. The question is, when the moment comes, and it will come, does he take it? Because if he does, we might be watching the most cathartic moment in English football since 1966. And if he doesn't, well, you know how this story usually ends. Okay, now we're getting into the real ones. 2 men, same trophy, same club, different countries. Only one can be king. Let's talk about the most fascinating subplot at this entire tournament. Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. are Real Madrid teammates. They hug in the dressing room. They celebrate goals together. And at World Cup 2026, they are each other's biggest obstacle. France and Brazil, both contenders, both loaded, and both built around their generational superstar. Vinicius arrives as arguably the most electric forward on the planet. Brazil haven't won a World Cup since 2002, and this is the golden generation everyone's been waiting for. Coach Carlo Ancelotti, yes, that Ancelotti, now leads the Selecao. The pressure is insane. Mbappe, on the other side, is chasing immortality. He's already scored more World Cup goals than any active player. He was the best player in the 2022 final and still finished on the losing side. He's hungry in a way that should terrify goalkeepers. If these two end up on opposite sides of a knockout match, forget it. The internet breaks, your WhatsApp group explodes, and we get a debate that lasts 10 years. Vinicius wants Brazil's 6th World Cup, Mbappe wants his 2nd. There's only one trophy. Somebody goes home heartbroken. Who do you think wins that head-to-head if it happens? Genuinely, tell me below. I'll read the top comment on our community post after the tournament. We're almost at number 1, but first, I need to talk about the man who, depending on when you're watching this, might have just played his last ever World Cup match. Lionel Messi, 38 years old, still here. Let that sink in. The greatest footballer who ever lived, and that's not a debate, that's a statement, is playing in his 6th World Cup. He won it in 2022. He cried. The world cried. It was supposed to be the perfect ending, and then he came back. Because Messi's rivalry isn't really with Ronaldo anymore. It's not with Mbappe, it's with time. Every match at this tournament could be his last. Every goal, every pass, every moment of genius from that left foot might be the final one we ever see on this stage. And the entire football world knows it. Argentina are defending champions. They're experienced, battle-hardened, and still dangerous. But they're not the runaway favorites they were. And that means Messi will have to work for every inch. Here's what I want you to think about. What does it mean for football if Argentina win this? What does it mean if they lose? There's no version of either outcome that isn't emotionally devastating in some way. The clock is ticking on the greatest player we'll ever see, and this summer, it might finally stop. And here we are, the one you've been waiting for, the rivalry that defined a generation, and this summer, it ends. Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, 6 World Cups apiece, a rivalry spanning 20 years. When these two arrived on the world stage, football had never seen anything like it. 2 players, simultaneously, pushing the boundaries of what one human being could do with a football. Records that were supposed to last forever, shattered. Ballon d'Ors that were supposed to go elsewhere, redirected. The entire sport reorganized itself around their existence. And now, here we are, the last dance. Messi has the World Cup medal. Ronaldo doesn't. That's the final unresolved thread between them. Ronaldo, who has won leagues, Champions Leagues, scored more goals than any man in football history, has never lifted football's greatest prize. He arrives at 40 years old. Many people said he wouldn't even make the squad. He's in the Saudi Pro League. Critics have written him off 100 times, and every single time he's answered. If Ronaldo lifts that trophy in July, it fundamentally reshapes the greatest debate in sports history. If he doesn't, if this World Cup ends without him, the era is officially, finally, over. These two will not play each other in the group stage. They may never meet on the pitch, but they will feel each other's presence in every single match, in every single goal, in every single headline. This isn't just football, this is a 20-year story reaching its final page, and you're here for it. That's why this tournament is different. That's why 2026 is going to hit differently than any World Cup before it. So let me ask you this, and I genuinely want to know, if you could write the ending, what would it be? Does Messi win it again and cement GOAT status forever? Does Ronaldo pull off the impossible and force us to reopen the debate? Does Mbappe or Vinicius steal the crown from both of them? That's football. That's why we love it. That's why this summer is going to be unforgettable. World Cup 2026 kicks off June 11th, and every single one of these storylines is going to play out in real time, right in front of us. We'll be covering every round, every shock, every iconic moment on this channel. If you're not subscribed yet, now is literally the best time, because this tournament is going to give us content for the rest of the year. And if you've got a mate who'd have an opinion on literally anything we talked about today, share this with them. Start the argument early. I promise it's worth it. See you for the group stage previews. This is going to be historic.